Hey everyone, good morning. It's Alex here from Ninja Teacher and I'm out here in Saigon, otherwise known as Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. And it is 5:30 in the morning. That is early. Angie just got locked in our office last night, which I feel really bad about, so I went and rescued her this morning at 5 a.m. and she was stuck there the whole night. The outside gate door got locked and she couldn't get out, so I'm sure it wasn't that funny for her, but in retrospect I'm sure she'll see the funny side of it. This is the view from my Airbnb. I kind of wanted a spectacular sunrise, but I guess that doesn't really happen. Actually, in my old apartment there were some amazing sunrises, but for now you get this and my face, and let's get cracking with the rest of today. So it's another day in the city and I'm walking through the park here. I'm not sure what the name of this park is, but it's just off Nguyen Tây Minh Khai. It's been really nice living in this area in District 1 where I can just walk everywhere. It's really convenient, but I also don't want to live too near Ben Thanh, which is like the foreigner kind of, not foreigner district, but more the tourist district. I would say District 2 is the foreigner district. Tha Dien anyway. So I'm looking for an apartment around District 1 just so I'm close to everything. Haven't found anything yet, mostly just because I haven't been looking. It's not my favorite thing in the world to do. Some people love apartment hunting. Man, I've seen some people get so excited about it. I kind of hate it. So I've just been avoiding doing it and had to extend my Airbnb and pay more money, which is not ideal because it's not the cheapest Airbnb out there. But like I said, it's nice and central, so that's cool. This is definitely one of the nice parks in the city. There's a few of them. There's Le Van Tam, Van Tan Park. That one's got a swimming pool. And yeah, it's nice to get out of the concrete jungle into the park occasionally. So I'm here in District 1 about to get some bubble tea, which is my new favorite thing. Actually, bubble coffee. Picking some up for the team. We're just taking a break from having a team meeting, and Miranda just did a call with a potential student for our TEFL course, and the rest of us are just working on stuff here and there. But this is the place here, Koi Cha, and they conveniently have a money exchange thing in there. So when you come out to Vietnam, you typically have to get some money exchanged, whether you have US dollars or whatnot. So I just got some coffees here for the team. So what I thought I'd address in this video is a question that we get quite often at Ninja Teacher, either posted in our Facebook group or in YouTube comments, and that's, what's the best cheap online TEFL course? And this is a question that I want to unpack a little bit and not just give a direct answer to. That's a question that has the fundamental assumption that doing it more cheaply is a good thing. And obviously that makes sense, right? You're flying out to Asia or wherever you're going. Specifically, I'm focusing on Vietnam and Thailand and perhaps Cambodia. And you're gonna come out here, search for a job, and there's a lot of expenses involved, right? You have to get your air flights, you have to pay for your accommodation for about 2 months because you'll find a job maybe within a few weeks or so, and then you'll have to stay another month of teaching before you get your first paycheck. And then there's food and transports. So yeah, there's a big chunk of change that you have to put down just to get over here. So I understand that people want to save when it comes to certification. Now, the issue with it though is when it comes to actually getting a job. Now, the reason why online courses, in my opinion, don't prepare you well is because, like someone in our group who was responding to someone who asked this question said, just because you've read a book on parenting doesn't mean you know how to parent. So sure, if you get a TEFL course that's online and you pay a couple $100, that's going to save you a lot more than an in-class course, which is around $1,500 depending on when you do it, excluding or including accommodation. But the problem with that is that you just learn the theory. And when you come out to Asia, schools want to see that you can actually teach and you have some experience. So the issue is that if you go into a demo class, a demonstration class, which is what a lot of schools ask you to do, in fact most of them do, it'll become apparent very quickly that you have no idea what you're doing. And another student also replied to someone asking this question, and he came through Ninja Teacher and has just started his course this week. And he said on his first day, he realized you don't know what you don't know. So once you're in the classroom learning from an experienced instructor, you will learn what you don't know very quickly, and then hopefully you'll learn what you should know. And I totally get it. It seems like a lot of money to pay to get certified to teach, but a certification doesn't mean anything if there's nothing behind it. So if you're going through an online course that just helps you learn a bit of theory and then you submit a few assignments, do you really think you will be able to be a good teacher after that? Well, maybe you'll get lucky and land a job, but will you land a job at a reputable school? Will you get enough teaching hours, which can be a common problem in Vietnam? And if you're at a mom and dad kind of owned language center, they might mess you around with the schedule, and then you only get like 10 hours a week, and then you don't have enough money to survive. It's not to say that you can't get a good job by arriving and just showing some initiative and kind of faking it till you make it. People do that, yeah. I don't know, I just think that's not worth it. Rather, while you're in your home country, save up a little bit extra. Just get a part-time job, save a bit each month, borrow from friends and family, and once you're earning here, you can send that money back home, take out a loan. So when people ask this question, I try and dig down into the fundamental assumptions that they're making, that they're going to save money, but I don't think that's actually true. I think you are going to lose money in the time it takes to find a job that's is good. You know, you're going to be searching for longer. And at the end of the day, I wouldn't recommend an in-class course if it wasn't something that I've seen after signing up 300 people per year for in-class courses. No one says, I regret taking that in-class course. Lots of people I've met have said, I totally regretted taking an online course because I had no idea what I was doing. Think about it a bit. Is it worth it to you? Is it worth getting that in-class support, asking your instructor questions, getting feedback on your teaching, and then getting better jobs? Because Vietnam is totally moving in the direction of only hiring teachers who are good. And I think the days of anyone who's got a degree and any old certificate can land a job, the time has come now where that's going to happen less and less. And it still will, but if you want to risk that, that is a risk that you'll take if you do an online course. So I just got back to the Ninja Teacher headquarters, which is coming soon, a video tour. It's going to be awesome. Stay tuned for that. I know people disagree with me on this one, but from 5 years in Asia now, teaching and working in the industry now for a while, 3 years in Vietnam, I can tell you that it's going to serve you really well. And if you can afford to save that money and invest it into your skills and education, that's another big thing, is the education side of it. I mean, do you want to be a subpar teacher for these students that are investing so much money and their parents are investing so much money for them to have a better future? Some people just have the thoughts of, yes, I want to get a job, what is the easiest, quickest way? But this is education for yourself, and it's education for students that are learning, and you're helping to improve education in Asia and whatever country you teach in. So I feel a couple of drops of rain. Rainy season is in full force. It just pours down and then stops again. So all that being said about why taking an in-class TEFL course is better than taking an online one, I do realize that there are some reasons why people would want to take an online TEFL course. And because of that, I do want to give you guys some tips about which online TEFL course you should take. But just to quickly cover reasons why you might want to take an online TEFL course, well, you can study your TEFL and get your certification online while you're still working back home.
And that makes sense if you're on a budget and you can't really afford to take a month off to do your TEFL course. Again, I think it is worth it, but at the end of the day, I do understand the situation that a lot of people are in, and they have a limited budget to get started out here teaching in Vietnam, and they want to maximize the money they have for startup costs by taking maybe a cheaper course, and at the same time having enough money to get settled in, get an apartment. So I'm just going to meet up with the Ninja Teacher team now for some lunch, and then after that I will give you a couple of suggestions about which online TEFL course you should consider if you are planning to come out here. Hello. Hey Matt, how you doing?
Good to see you.
Yeah. So we're in the Ben Thanh street food markets. Angie has shown me where the Mexican food is. Ah, there it is.
You gotta have good Mexican food.
Oh yeah, I have ordered from here before.
They have really good fish tacos.
I think I've been to Gringos in the other location. There's another location, right?
I don't know where it's at, but I have heard there's another one.
Right.
I just order it on Vietnam all the time.
Hi. Yeah, so this is a nice location just to come and you can get all sorts of different foods. As you can see, it's a whole big market of different foods. It's not the cheapest, but there's some also reasonably priced things here too. So I'm gonna get some spring rolls here at this place, and this is one of my favorite go-tos because they're just fresh and light. So here getting some food with the team. Got Eddie and Kyle, and then Mattia is just joining us for lunch.
Things have been going well. Every day in Vietnam is an interesting one. Yeah, Mexican food in Vietnam.
How long have you been here now?
I've been here about almost a year, probably 10 months. Yeah, so it's been awesome. Really enjoying it.
Matt's been a good member of the Ninja Teacher community, coming to all our events and stuff.
Yeah.
Nice.
I've met a lot of friends through the Ninja Teacher meetups, and yeah, actually some of my best friends here in Vietnam.
Cool, that's awesome, man. These kids here are just playing with knives. How was lunch, Eddie?
That's good. My avocado vegan smoothie.
Everyone here is like vegetarian or vegan right now, and I'm not. So I'm surrounded by vegans. Maybe I'll get converted, you know?
Hi.
Hey, what's up?
Just trying to figure out where Batexco is in relation.
It's up there.
Up that way?
Oh, exactly. It's kind of behind that big building over there.
Man, the view is awesome.
So we're gonna hold some meetups up here. Yeah, we've got a upstairs office over there. So check it out, this is our bar here. It's kind of crazy we have a bar. But it's only for special events like the welcoming evening, and then we'll have some meetups up here. And then here's our office, which is an office, and it's also a ping pong table. How cool is that? So you can just take this off, and then we put all our chairs around it. This is gonna be our main team office space. Kind of a recreational room for Ninja Teacher Academy. We'll probably put some nice couches or beanbags there so that teachers can just chill out in between class. Just having a look there at Landmark Tower, which is the new tallest building in Ho Chi Minh City, and it's pretty tall. It's called Landmark 81, right?
That's right.
Because it's 81 floors, so it's pretty huge. Kyle's just showing us his favorite cafe, which is in Phu Nhang district.
Yeah.
It's a secret, but not for long.
Yeah, it's a secret. Hey,
No, you gotta
I'm showing you, not
Sharing is caring.
Okay.
Give value.
It's called Cafe Cham, and it's in Phu Nhang district. I have like 10 other coffee shops that I've marked.
We should do a little cafe tours video.
Sure.
Just show people like top 10 cafes in Saigon. Because there's so many cafes. Like,
Phu Nhang, I think, is known for like good indie cafes, very
Right.
like non-mainstream.
and then here we have Ninja Teacher Gong Ti TNHH, Ninja Teacher Vietnam. That means company Vietnam, Vietnam company. And classroom is now set up. Still kind of messy around here. We just need to do some organization, but as you can see, we've got all the desk chairs, and this is all going to be moved so that we have more space. It's going to be cleaned up nicely, but just wanted to give you a sneak peek of what it's going to look like. Listen to
To the sun.
oh yeah, bass connector. There we go. So Eddie here with the good old rain poncho.
Yeah, it's the one thing about Vietnam you gotta be prepared for. It rains quite a lot.
Yeah,
Very
rainy
heavy.
season for like what, 5 months
Like
of the
5 or 6
year.
months.
It doesn't rain the whole day. It rains like for chunks of the day and then just stops again. But it's drizzling out. So it's 5 o'clock traffic down there. You can see how crazy it gets. And a lot of people ask, is the traffic really as bad as it looks? Yeah, it is, but you kind of get used to it. And this is our little wraparound balcony, but it's really this amazing location right in the center of District 1, and it's just perfect for what we want. And we've been wanting to get a good Ninja Teacher headquarters, and we came up with the name Ninja Teacher Academy because this is the place we're going to be training up new teachers. And right there we have Ben Thanh Market, which is a famous market. It's huge, as you can see. That whole thing, it has all sorts of interesting things you can buy in there, lots of touristy things, but also a nice place to do some shopping if you want cheap items. Okay, so check it out. We're in the new Ninja Teacher Academy. So I guess this is the official first video on this place, but check it out. This is where we are going to be running an exciting new program, which I'll tell you a little bit about in a second, but I wanted to just give you those tips that I have if you do plan to go for the online TEFL route, or even if you've taken an in-class TEFL, just to make sure you're getting one that you can actually use in Vietnam. So the important thing to note is that a TEFL or TESOL certification is a requirement to get a work permit to teach legally in Vietnam. So that means you have to have the certificate with you and it has to be authenticated. So the most important thing is that the TEFL or TESOL certificate that you get is one that can be used in Vietnam for work permit purposes. So what that means is that when you come to teach in Vietnam, you will process your degree and your TEFL or TESOL certificate and I think a health check. So those are the main things that you need to have to actually get a work permit to work legally in Vietnam. So when it comes to getting your TEFL or TESOL, if you get it online, you have to get that certified as authentic in the country where that TEFL certificate was issued. So for example, the TEFL course that we offer here in Vietnam, it's issued in Vietnam, so you actually don't have to get it authenticated because the Vietnamese government recognizes it. So you need to have a certificate that firstly, the country you get it from will recognize it as a legitimate education company that can issue these certificates. So for example, if you get it from a UK online company, you'd have to make sure that the UK government can authenticate that as real. So that's the first step. And then when you come to Vietnam, the Vietnamese government also has to recognize it as a legitimate TEFL or TESOL certification. Now the Vietnamese government's got a list of schools and education institutions that actually issue certificates that they accept. Now it's impossible to get a hold of that list. I wish we did have that list so we could just give it to you guys. So it's quite hard to say which ones are or aren't accepted by the Vietnamese government, but because there's hundreds and hundreds of TEFL companies, there's a good chance that some of them aren't going to be accepted by the Vietnamese government. And yeah, I wish I could tell you which ones. But so essentially you want to go for one that's accredited by a reputable organization, preferably a university, if not that, some kind of framework. Like in the UK they have, I think it's TQuick. So you want to look out for those kinds of things. And if a TEFL course is accredited by another company, be very careful of that because there's a lot of these accreditation companies that are, I wouldn't go as far as to say a scam, but they kind of just set themselves up and then say, oh, we'll accredit you as a TEFL course, but it doesn't really mean anything because it's not accredited by a reputable authority. So, like I said, there's just too many TEFL certificates and companies to give you a breakdown, but if you contact us on ninjateacher.com, we'll be able to give you some recommendations. That's the most important thing, is that your TEFL certificate will be accepted by the Vietnamese government for work permit purposes. I'm just like spinning around here as I'm filming this. So really that's the only thing that I would say you should look out for, because most of them are going to teach you the same theory. Like I said, it's going to be mostly theory. You do get those combined courses which maybe offer you a little bit of classroom experience over a weekend, but you don't get too much from that. So now with all this said, and with where I am right now, you might be wondering what the deal is with that. And basically, we've recognized that there is a market here for people who have an online TEFL or maybe one of these combined courses, who have a TEFL certificate that will be accepted by the Vietnamese government, so they will be able to actually get a work permit. However, they're not really prepared for the classroom to actually do a demo class and land a good job because they haven't got that in-person experience. So what we're doing here, and this new program we're launching here at Ninja Teacher Academy, what we're going to be offering is a package that helps people who already have a TEFL certificate to come to Vietnam, support you throughout the process, and then give you some short-term, 2-week intensive training in the classroom. So practical training as an add-on for the certificate you already have. So you can use that certificate that you have to get the work permit, and it will be valid for that, and then you can come through us and get the in-class training that will actually get you confidence, so you don't have to be worried about getting in front of a classroom full of people and not knowing what to do. And yeah, and throughout that entire process, we'll support you with guidance, everything from when you first sign up with us, what you need to bring over, how to get your documents authenticated before you come over, all of that kind of stuff. Help you when you arrive. You get to meet the other students on the course. We'll support you with orientation stuff. We've actually got a whole whiteboard here of all the stuff that it involves. There'll be a welcoming weekend, tour around the city. We'll help you get settled in, and it's also going to include accommodation for that first couple of weeks while you're getting that training with us. And then of course the dedicated job assistance, which is really big in Vietnam, because finding a job is something that can be easy but also quite tricky, because there are a lot of opportunities, but it can be difficult to find out how to get to those opportunities. Unless you're a company that's based in Vietnam like we are, it's very hard for that company to keep up an active network of schools because they're not here. And the thing in Vietnam is everything's changing so quickly. There's schools opening all the time, English centers opening every few days, and you really need to be on the ground here and in constant communication with all these schools to have a viable network to help place people. And I think a lot of companies that say, oh yeah, we'll give you lifetime job search guidance, they'll probably just refer you to a few of the big schools here, because they're not even based in Vietnam, so they don't know all these smaller schools, which are probably 80% of the actual jobs. But yeah, all that being said, I think that this is going to be a really awesome program. We're going to be limiting it to 10 students per month, and we've got our first one coming up in October? When is it? October, yeah. Yeah, so I think the really nice thing about this program is you're going to meet a lot of people who are in the same situation as you. At home, you've got everything you need. You've got the TEFL certificate, you've got your degree, but then you're like, what now? Because your TEFL company that you signed up for can't really help you any further, right? So yeah, basically we'll be there to support you. We've got the full team here on the ground to guide you through everything, help you get accommodation after the course, you know, all of that stuff, motorbike rentals. What else have we got here? Yeah, we can arrange airport pickup for you guys. So I think it's going to be a great program. It's a kind of new thing. I think we're doing something very original here that hasn't been done before, because either there's online TEFL companies and then there's in-class TEFL courses in the country you're going to go teach in, and this is kind of like a middle ground, and I'm super excited to launch this program. So if it's something you're interested in, just head over to Ninja Teacher, send us a message. You can look at the details on the website. I'm definitely going to make some more videos on the academy here, do a proper tour of it, show you in more detail what we've got planned. Yeah, I hope to see some of you out here. And if you are planning to come teach English in Vietnam in 2018, we're going to be running a special for the launch for the next few months and the last few months of 2018 that will allow you to get the program at a cheaper cost. Yeah, other than that, stay tuned for more videos about teaching English and life in Vietnam. I hope you found this one helpful and gave you some guidance on the whole in-class versus online, and this also middle ground option which we've just developed now and we're quite excited about. Make sure to stay tuned, subscribe to the channel, and I'll speak to you soon. Peace.
Peace.